Millie, it was your first kiss, is that right?
Yep.
From their current situations to what it's going to be like when their series is done and more. Join me as I show you adult problems Stranger Things kids are now facing.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Number 8. Stranger Things. If you were to look at Stranger Things before it released on Netflix, you would have been fine in admitting that the show had potential, but likely wasn't just going to be another binge watch and then likely forget about it. And yet, that's not what happened at all. Stranger Things has been one of the biggest things on Netflix and easily is one of their most anticipated shows for whenever it gets back on the air. Season 4 is coming and fans can't get enough. Add to that the comics, novels, video games, and other adaptations of the characters via fans, and you get a series that fans truly enjoy. One of the biggest things though about this is that the cast is so well liked and appreciated that fans can't help but resonate with them and want to see more of them. They're famous and they're rich, some are even worth millions, and they're on one heck of a joyride. But as things start to come into view, they're facing some problems that many wouldn't expect them to because of their young age. Number 7. Thinking about the future. Usually, when you're cast into a hit show, the only ways that the show is going to end is that the ratings and/or viewership goes down heavily, certain cast members want to leave, or something drastic happens that requires the show to be stopped. But that happens more rarely than you might think. However, with Stranger Things, it's a bit different. While the show is, by and large, one of the biggest successful things that Netflix has ever published, the showrunners of the series, the Duffer Brothers, have noted that they're not aiming to go and make this a series that lasts 10 plus years or so. It's incredibly likely that the upcoming 4th season is the final one, and the Duffers have had hints about that happening. Which brings us to the cast of kids, because once Stranger Things is over, they're going to have to go and get new roles on different series or movies if they want to keep acting. Now, some of you know that certain ones have already done that, like Finn Wolfhard in It, and Millie Bobby Brown has a Sherlock Holmes spin-off film that could easily keep her occupied for a while. But as a whole, that's a big change, going from this season that you've spent part of your youth in to suddenly needing to find something new and fresh and real. Granted, they have the money to make it for some time, but for actors, the money is only part of the problem. Number 6. Typecasting. The idea of typecasting has been around for much longer than you think. It happens in many genres and with many legendary actors. From Adam West to Brad Pitt, for a time anyway, if you play a role a certain way and you do it so well that it's legendary, that's honestly all that people see you as for a long time until you wow them with another role. If you're looking for a great comparison to Stranger Things, look at Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint were all tagged as the Harry Potter trio for many years following the end of the series, even despite them having different roles. Emma Watson finally got some new fame with films like Beauty and the Beast and Little Women, but most still know her as Hermione Granger. The Stranger Things cast have been a diverse set of kids playing roles that everyone is familiar with and loves, so having to go and try to prove that you're more than just that character is a struggle they have to deal with. Plus, as they get older, things only get harder for them. Number 5. Becoming adult actors. There are many things in Hollywood that isn't necessarily taught to you, but learned as you go on. You have to remember that all of the Stranger Things kids, the main kids anyways, are all under 18. They're really just kids, and yet they're thrust into the spotlight that is this show, and being a star in general. But as they grow up, they evolve as people as well as actors. They're going to find a whole new set of problems. While we all know some of our favorite characters from when they were young and watching things like sitcoms and hit shows and movies, there's a dark side to Hollywood that shows that these kids don't always do well. Look at people like Jaleel White, who you know as Steve Urkel from Family Matters. He was a kid when he started doing that show and ended the series with Steve as an adult. But after that, his typecasting literally ruined his acting career because people just saw him as Steve and didn't think he could do more than that. And if you look at Disney Channel or even Nickelodeon, many of their child stars have long careers, but just as many haven't been seen since their time in the spotlight. Or if you look at people like Miley Cyrus, they became totally different people in their time after the show. Others, like legendary child star Gary Coleman, struggled all his life with money and casting issues, and he died really young from it all. That's not to say that the Stranger Things cast will all have dark endings, but it's one thing to be a child star, it's another to make that a long-standing career. Number 4. Global pandemic. While not specifically a Stranger Things cast problem, it's something that should be noted as a whole. The world right now is in a very dark place, specifically in regards to the COVID-19 epidemic that has much of the world shut down as the fear of the virus continuing to spread grows. While things are getting lighter in their restrictions, the lockdown is still on, and many wonder if things will ever get back to normal. The reason we're bringing up this adult problem is many-fold, not the least of which is that filming for shows and films has been mostly halted because of state regulations and guidelines. While Stranger Things Season 4 seems to be wrapped up, or close to it, this means that the cast can only do limited things from within their homes in regards to hyping up for the upcoming 4th season, and that's no doubt not a lot of fun. Plus, this global pandemic is giving a lot of people time to think about what they really want in their lives. And you can bet that these kids are dealing with that in their own way. What revelations they come to in this time will only be known to them, but rarely should a set of kids their age have to think about this kind of stuff. And yet, that's exactly what's going on here. Number 3. Media. And now, let's talk about one of the biggest banes of the Hollywood world, the media. Because of the fame and popularity of Stranger Things, the young cast, as well as the veterans, are being put under the media spotlight and having all sorts of questions asked of them and of the series. While some of these are fine and such, we all know that the media can turn sour pretty quickly, and the cast has not been afraid to voice their opinions on certain aspects of Hollywood, which of course led to even more media coverage. Plus, as Stranger Things winds down, there's going to be even more coverage of these kids to see what they will become or be like in the years after the show ends. That kind of never-ending coverage gets to everyone in Hollywood, even the seasoned veterans. And a simple mistake or slip of the tongue and the media is painting them in a certain light. No one wants that, especially not when you're a teenager. You have enough to worry about, and yet you always have to worry about the media. Number 2. Pressure to perform. This ties into the future of the cast after the series ends, as many actors and actresses of all walks of life have an inner desire to go and perform and be even better than before. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and when it doesn't, or you aren't given the opportunity to, it weighs on you. A great example of this is another Netflix veteran in Deborah Ann Woll. She played Karen Page to great effect in the beloved Daredevil series. Yet after the cancellation of the franchise, Woll hasn't gotten any work. It's been a long time since Daredevil was canceled too. She's admitted on the internet how hard it was because she wants to continue acting, yet she doesn't know why people won't cast her. This is potentially something that could happen to the Stranger Things kids, and they have to prepare for that. They aren't the only kids wanting to act in the world, and even though they may think they're the best part for the role, others may not think that. There is a pressure on them to get more roles, to do bigger and better things, but they have to be ready for that maybe not happening. Number 1. Will they be okay? It may seem dark to put all of these thoughts and feelings on the Stranger Things cast, but it's a real thing that happens in Hollywood, and they need to be ready for it. Many stars across the generations have thought they had it made. Then something goes wrong, and they wonder where it all went off the rails. That's not to say that this will happen to the Stranger Things kids, but it could. And if they're not ready for it, it'll haunt them. So what do you think? What do you think of these adult problems that the Stranger Things kids are now facing? Do you think that they will manage just fine after the series is over? Do you foresee other problems that they're going to have to endure? If so, what are they? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.